Wearing a black sweater and shorts, home surveillance video captured police arrest a serial burglary suspect accused of committing his crimes fully nude. 21-year-old Cedric Walker is seen escorted away from his home on Gatwick Square in handcuffs around 8 a.m. Monday.
As we stood by and he was taken into custody, that community was literally lined up the side of the road, cheering and clapping. I've never seen anything like it.
Walker is accused in 5 cases since early March, allegedly breaking into homes and prowling in the night in the nude. In one case, police say he only wore a shirt around his head and tennis shoes. No one was ever hurt and not a single item was stolen.
Although you may not have seen us from 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, detectives have been out of their cars, out in the cold, hiding in bushes, waiting for this exact moment, and it paid off right here.
A dozen personnel, including detectives, have been staking out the neighborhood for weeks, setting up their own covert cameras, fully confident he'd strike again. Police say one of the officers spotted him on camera walking around naked. They quickly launched 2 drones and caught him running away from officers and back to his home. Police say it took roughly 3 hours after he was found to finally surrender.
At least you can go to bed at night without wondering if somebody's going to get in your house, and nude at that.
Diane Blevins says neighbors have been on alert for weeks.
Nobody wants that to happen, especially in your backyard.
Walker is facing charges of burglary and indecent exposure. Chief Kevin Davis hopes to keep him locked up and seek treatment behind bars if he does have a mental health issue.
He can't help himself, I believe, but to continue to commit these crimes, and they will graduate to something more serious.
We know the suspect does not have a criminal record, but like many of you, we want to know the motive, and that's what police are trying to figure out right now. They are hoping to talk more with Walker's family to learn more about him and what they potentially knew. In the meantime, I actually happened to run into Walker's family as we were trying to get reaction from their neighborhood. They quickly turned me away, but one woman at that home told me, quote, "He is sick." In Fairfax, I'm Matthew Torres, WUSA 9.
Watch a keen-nosed Colorado canine locate a missing girl just minutes after arriving to help. Arapahoe County Sheriff's officials were called to a neighborhood by a panicked mother who had been separated from her 7-year-old at a local park for nearly 2 hours. No sooner than sheriff's deputies started the search, they put their canine Rex to work, using the girl's shoes for a scent. The department says within 12 minutes, the dog picked up the trail and the girl was soon located, leading deputies on a short chase. She was okay, albeit a little shaken up, but was calmed down thanks again to Rex.
She would like to pet Rex,
who soothed the situation with some friendly puppy love.
He's a nice puppy, huh? He helped us find you.
You know, very good dogs deserve very good treats, and one Michigan neighborhood is now sporting a community toy and treat box stocked with knickknacks and nummies for dogs on the go.
There's about 20, 30 dogs always walk past our house, so we're like, hey, what can we do to help?
Warren resident Trisha Rowe built the Doggy Stick Stop, a twist on the popular Little Lending Library idea, but instead packed with dog toys, tennis balls, treats, and poop bags. Locals are loving the idea so much, the Stick Stop now has goodies donated from local businesses. People helping people, and poochies. Well, hot dog. Finally, treats are no more for this gorilla in Germany, but not because she's a bad girl, it's because she's a golden girl. Fatou, the world's oldest gorilla in human care, just celebrated her 69th birthday at the Berlin Zoo. She now gets her own private quarters away from the rest of the pack, but also, due to sugar restrictions, has had to give up fruit from her diet. And she doesn't exactly look thrilled about it.
Oh good, more vegetables.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth. So, a beaver walks into a grocery store, right? No, it's not a joke. It's a thing that happened in the Canadian town of Hannah. As in Nickelback's hometown of Hannah, you ask? The very same. Just look at this photograph. Anywho, video posted by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police shows the surprised shopper pop through the entrance of the business and then, seemingly realizing its mistake, it attempts to exit, but to no avail. RCMP officials say they were contacted about the trespasser, responded, and used non-forceful means to coax the beaver back outside, where it was released. They posted photos in case the beaver was spotted elsewhere, saying he's not considered armed and dangerous, but his tail was pretty big. Watch firefighters rescue a stuck puppy seen peeking out of a chimney top in Michigan. After neighbors spotted the tiny pup atop the chimney of the crumbling home, Detroit Fire Department officials responded and set up a ladder rescue, climbing to the roof and pulling the pup to safety. They brought it back to level ground and reportedly nicknamed it Stack before handing it over to Michigan Humane, who says Stack is now working on gaining some much-needed weight and will soon be made available for adoption. Finally, watch a group of Utah runners put the fast in fast food in an attempt to break the most fast food eateries visited in a 24-hour period. KSTU reports the group gathered and got moving in Salt Lake County, making quick stops for small bites, sampling, then scurrying to the next place. Organizers made a map so supporters could keep track of the pack in real time, and the group says they totaled 176 eateries when it was all over. The current Guinness World Record is 150 fast food restaurants, so time will tell if this group's fleet of foot fast food feet will be the new record to beat. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
I would say the hardest fish I've ever caught in my life, by far. The way I did it on the jet ski, holding the rod solo, no fighting belt, I didn't have any rod holder. It was just me or the beast.
Hunter Hicks is an experienced fisherman, but Easter Sunday brought with it an unforgettable experience. A 212-pound, 70-inch bluefin tuna.
Worst fight of my life. Kind of like fighting Mike Tyson, but losing. It was tough.
Once Hunter had wrangled the fish, he still had to tow it all the way through Oregon Inlet behind his jet ski.
At that point, I was almost 10 miles offshore, and land went from this to this to this, and it was gone. And I don't have a chart plotter, GPS. What if my phone dies? You know, I know how to make it in. I'm a waterman, but still, in my mind, I was starting to get a little scared. But I knew if I would have let go of that fish, nobody would have believed me.
But he did. And the moment he stepped onto the sand,
it was a moment of relief, truthfully. Next thing you know it, there's 30 people on the beach wanting to take pictures of my fish.
Hunter is still feeling the impact that the fight had on his body.
For 2 days straight, my arm was stuck like this. It was like I had lockjaw or something. I could not open it. My back and neck hurt. I have bruises all up and down my body.
But it's something that he wouldn't trade in for the world.
I'm sure you wouldn't trade what this has been like or that moment for anything, huh?
Never. Never, 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 never. I just really wish somebody was with me to experience the whole adventure that we had, the fish and I.
Park Zoo staff addressing the elephant in the room.
Alice, our Asian elephant, was able to break a section of welded steel.
But it wasn't a room. It was out on the zoo's public walkways.
And went out into a guest area of the biopark, explored. She had some plants, she had some trees.
Staff were alerted at 7:20 a.m. on Sunday that Alice had left her habitat, immediately triggering their emergency protocols.
We were able to secure the perimeter, have our zookeepers come and start recalling her back.
Good girl, Alice, come to me.
Alice returning to her habitat using the same recall method like she is here.
Good girl, Alice, come to me, move out.
Proving the saying, elephants never forget.
Good girl, Alice, all right.
The water pond section of the elephant's habitat is currently off limits as the staff reinforce the steel.
We've added some more pillars and steel to make sure that this does not ever happen again.
They say they continue to look for weak spots in other habitats, using Gross Receipts tax money to modernize them.
I think the biopark's a very safe place to be, and I think this incident shows that all of our measures and tools worked. Staff was safe, the public was safe, and Alice the elephant was safe.
The people have spoken. This wild image of an Iberian lynx playing with its food snagged the Wildlife Photographer of the Year Naveen People's Choice Award. Named Flying Rodent, the caught-on-camera moment in Spain gives us a glimpse of the young cat tossing around its prey before making it into a meal, a common practice for these animals. The National History Museum of London says the prize-winning pick beat out 60,000 entries for the top spot in an online vote. The cat is not the only show-stopping pick. 4 photos also noted as highly commended. Family Rest, showing a mama polar bear and her 3 cubs stopping for a snooze in the summer heat of Canada. Dancing in the Headlights, a silly but not necessarily safe scene of young bear cubs wrestling in the middle of the road in Jasper National Park. Beauty Against the Beast, highlighting the juxtaposition between nature and industry in Namibia. And Never-Ending Struggle, a gruesome scene showing a deer's antler stuck to the remains of a rival that died during battle. These award-winning images are on display at the Natural History Museum of London through mid-July.